I guess two questions. Where do you, at the beginning, where were you coming up with your creativeness about that? And I'd love to know your reasoning behind leaning so far into your politics and where you stand when it comes to Reagan.
Yeah, I mean, we get a lot of, I don't know. We do a lot of stuff about like current events. And so whether it's like sports, politics, the weather, all that. And so the politics kind of like enters into it. And sometimes people will be like, "Oh, I liked it when you just did shirts about sports." And you're like, "Well, actually, we did shirts about politics before we did shirts about sports." So I don't know how long you've been involved in the company. But it started as more political when I very first started. Like Jon Stewart for President was one of our first shirts. We sold in a lot of like punk rock shops and stuff like that. Most of the music I was into was like 90s punk rock, Rage Against the Machine, 1 Minute Silence. So there was like a heavy political bent to everything I was into, like politics, personally, elections, art, everything. And so that's always kind of been this like thread through it. And in terms of the process now, I'm sometimes people are like, "Oh, did you like it? Do you like it? Did you like it more when it was just you?" And I was like, "No, that sucked. Like I had to do everything. Like I barely did design. Like we're spending time like cleaning, printing, ringing up sales. I mean, if you want to be a designer, the worst thing you can do is to like start a design firm sometimes, because then you're working on sales, you're in pitch meetings, you're tracking down invoices, you're requesting payment. It's just on and on and on. I do so much more design and creative stuff now than I did in the beginning, because now I actually have like a machine to distribute things, and we have like different managers and different directors that handle like different departments of the company. So when we set up a store in Lincoln this last year, I went to Lincoln to kind of like check out the like city, um, went back to look at a space, signed a lease, and then the next time I was back in Lincoln was when the store was open. So it's not like I'm there, hanging lights or anything. I do kind of what I do, which is the creative side. So I run the creative team. There are two other full-time designers, but design we use loosely. Everything's one font, three or four templates. You design 75% of our stuff in Microsoft Word, so we're not really pushing the boundaries of design. We're working within like this brand. We could obviously design in a more complicated way, but it's kind of like the white stripes theory of design, where we like strip it way down and say, all right, these are the only tools we're going to work with. Let's think creatively within those tools.